Well, there's a new movie on Netflix, and I didn't know when it was going to drop, but it finally dropped. It's called Troll.
I didn't realize it was a foreign film.
It's a Norwegian film set in Norway, and it's kind of Norway's version of Godzilla.
Right.
With the lore and the folklore. Now, this isn't no troll hiding under the bridge, waiting for the donkeys to pass. Goats to pass, the old story.
Billy Goat Gruff.
These guys are the size of mountains. Right?
Yes.
And they used to live in Norway, all through Norway. And most of the mountains were caused by them turning to stone and beginning. And they're all nature. There's no... It's earth and sand and rock and it's all made from nature.
Hey, hyper-nature.
Hyper-nature. That's how you find out what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, it dropped on Netflix. And I'm curious to see what you guys think.
Why was this even on your radar, though?
Well, this was the #1 Netflix movie.
Really?
Yeah.
In Canada for the last few days.
Really?
You go onto Netflix and there's a big interesting picture of people climbing a mountain and
there's an eye.
Mountain has an eye looking at you.
It was the thumbnail that got them.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And so we said, well, it's a new drop. It looks like a big monster movie. Let's watch it.
That stands for everything the Norwegian army goes against.
That
line stood out to me.
Okay. So they're drilling in a mountain, making a road somewhere.
Yeah, mining. Oh.
There's protesters. They don't like you defiling nature like that.
No.
And then all of a sudden from inside the mountain, there's a big explosion and...
Well, they were blasting.
Well, when they weren't blasting, when they went to see the results of their blasting, there's another big explosion, a rock fall, and then all of a sudden something pops out. And on camera, it's a little bit fuzzy, but you can see an arm.
Right.
A couple arms and then maybe 2 legs there. It looks like something big is standing there, like a big Bigfoot in the fog.
And that's because something big is standing there, like a Bigfoot in the fog.
However, in the meeting with all the Norwegian defense people and the Prime Minister, they're looking right at this arm and leg and all the accounts of something big and monstery coming out of this area. And they're saying, come on, it must be a gas pocket.
Right, yeah.
Well, they were saying that happened. A girl runs in with the film footage, but at first they're saying gas pocket
but
or
even
something like
afterwards, there's even parts where they're looking at actual giant footprints.
Yeah.
And they're saying, give me a break.
Yeah.
It's gas pockets.
Yeah.
However, luckily,
there's
a brilliant female archaeologist.
No, paleontologist.
And she goes, hey, you guys are going to be kidding me, right? You can see the footprints, right? And everyone's going...
in shock.
Well, I don't want to say that I'm seeing a giant monster. But then they start making, what, is it a dinosaur? Blah, blah, blah. Guess what? Turns out it's like a giant dinosaur made of rock, basically. But it's a troll. And they go off in hunting.
Now, she is an exceptional person to involve because her dad used to tell her stories of the trolls.
He actually was a famous scientist who was debuffed because of his belief that there were trolls.
In this stuff, yeah.
Actually incarcerated in an asylum.
Does it sound like Godzilla? Remember, the son goes after his father because his father believes there was something at in China?
Plagiarism.
Now, it starts off, the whole movie starts off with the father and the little girl on a mountaintop. And he says, oh yes, there are stories about the trolls who used to live here. You just got to believe to see them. You got to believe.
It's a Christmas miracle.
And then she actually tries to believe, and then she sees faces in the mountains. So this is not foreign to her.
Right. No.
However, she sees the footprint, she sees the footage, she goes to see her father because he's an expert in trolls, but she doesn't believe him about trolls.
No.
Right.
She
Stop talking about trolls.
Stop telling people about trolls. Meanwhile, she's been telling them, hey, there's something weird in there. It looks like something's coming out of the mountain. And everyone, you guys are idiots for not believing me. And then she goes to her father, who was telling her all these stories, and said, you're an idiot for believing that.
Yeah.
It just didn't, that part didn't make sense at all.
Didn't make sense at all.
But they left it in.
Yeah. Now, what I did like, in a way, is they didn't play any kind of favorites in this. Like, you saw all the eco-friendly people outside the mine going, "Hey, don't do it," and everything like that, and then they start cheering for a moment when they see the explosion going on inside, and all of a sudden all the rocks start coming on them and they get wiped out too, right? They didn't play favorites as if, oh, the good guys are the environmentalists.
No.
Everybody gets wiped out. And the military, when the military starts fighting, you see them all standing there, tanks firing, and the next thing you know, they're all just just running away, kind of things like that.
See, I think it was a good concept, but I don't think the movie was executed very well.
It kind of left me hanging. Like, I'm really excited because they have this whole history where the troll is going back to
his home,
his castle that was taken from him by Christians. And so now there's this big battle where the Christians wiped out the trolls and the one troll is coming back. But so what? Focus on the troll. All we get is the troll traveling from one place to another, and then the story is done.
Right. Yeah.
And I wanted more.
I loved. You wanted more. Oh goodness. I loved how they said, okay, well, you know, the church bells. The trolls were so infuriated by the church bells that they were throwing boulders at the churches and crushing them, and so they figured that the best strategy was to fly helicopters around the trolls' heads with big church bells on them.
Like,
and it was working.
Don't we have recording equipment that has church bells?
That's what I was thinking too.
But I'm thinking, okay, but the trolls wanted to destroy those church bells. Maybe flying a helicopter with a church bell is not a good plan.
I don't know how the church bells became a weapon. Like, I know that they didn't like Christians and they smelled Christian blood, but did the church bells actually hurt them?
Well, if you notice, when they started ringing it did hurt him in his ears and that. And he started,
but why?
Yeah.
Well, we don't know.
Yeah.
But it was working, so somebody had a good idea. Hey,
It wasn't working. It was grab the helicopter, hit the other helicopter with it.
If you notice, they said in the helicopter at one point, the guy says, "We got it, it's working. We got to get closer." Well, that was their mistake. They got closer, and he got it within reach. And I liked how it was always there was 4 helicopters. The stars are in one of them. Guess which one didn't get destroyed?
Yeah.
But it was always, helicopter number 4, you're getting too close. Yeah, you think? It's about 2 inches from the guy's face.
Now, the geologist, or whatever she is, she has a partner, just some kind of
He's an
assistant government person who follows her
aide
around.
to the prime minister.
Now, didn't you just think, back to Jurassic Park, oh, that's Laura Dern and Jeff Goldblum?
Yes.
Exactly. Replace those 2 characters with those 2 actors, and you're done. You have Jurassic Park.
Goldblum had much more personality.
Well, yes, so did Laura Dern compared to this person.
Yeah.
But
But they had a soldier in it as well. He was kind of cool. Like, they didn't dumbify him or anything like that. He was a military guy.
Superficial.
Yeah. Now, should we spoil a little bit?
Oh, I think it's fine.
It's
You
fine.
think people are going to rush off to watch it?
You know, it's free on Netflix, folks. The best part of the whole movie for me is when they figure out UV light is going to hurt it, and so they bring it to this one place, the soccer field, and they start shining all these UV lights on it, and it's and she goes, "Oh my God, this is wrong," and she runs over and she pulls all the plugs out and then runs up to the troll. "Go home. We'll leave you alone." And I think, oh, he's going to turn away and go back to the mountains. And then the sun comes up and melts him and he dies. And all the military guys are all, yeah, and high-fiving. And I'm going, what just happened? Like, she said, look, like, just go home. Everything will be, we'll be.
And then, you know, this point where you see that the troll is just actually trying to, be just a regular being. You know? And then, suddenly it dies when it didn't have to, and then you're stuck saying, am I sad because those people are partying now?
Yeah.
But you could see the inner turmoil with the troll before, it's like, okay, maybe I will go into the mountains.
Maybe we can coexist.
Yeah. And then he melts, basically, I'm melting.
And then the prime minister comes after she kicked the geologist out of the room, and we want nothing to do with you anymore because you're crazy. The prime minister comes at the end, sees the geologist and says, I don't know what to say. And then the geologist just leaves.
and then just walks past.
Yeah. Okay. So thanks for wrapping that up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for saving Norway.
Yeah. That prime minister was not very well played. Yeah.
But, well, yeah, anyone in the room were all idiots except her when they
Right.
were having the meeting.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Then they had that one defense minister guy who all he wanted to do was use the super powerful missile.
Yeah.
And okay, that's fine, but you never get to see it.
No.
You don't get to see an accident with it where maybe it goes off course and things go wrong. Nothing.
Nope. Just talk about it.
Yeah. So
No. But this, you know what? It kind of brought me back to my childhood. I'm watching the old Japanese Godzilla films, where it's like a costume and the guy's walking through the models and it's sparks shooting from the cannons and all. And he even had laser beams from trucks back then. And this is we're 40 years ago, folks. And there were no laser beams. There's
No.
still no laser beams.
but the CGI in this was good.
Yeah, but I mean, like the story, the way it looks, the story and all that reminds me of exactly that.
Yeah.
Even the voice dubbing remind me of the Japanese films because it's in Norwegian and they're English dubbed. It's
Yeah.
very close looking in a way most of the time, but
And you gotta wonder, like, was the dialogue as cheesy as we heard it, or is it better in Norwegian?
Right. Has
Yeah.
it been altered?
yeah. Now, the story is same no matter what.
Yeah.
They're still the characters are portrayed the exact same way. So
Paint by number, generic.
yeah, but I think it was meant to be that.
So this was number 1, you said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What are Canadians doing?
Well, they saw the thumbnail and they clicked on it. So
Yeah. Well, I am.
But then they watched it.
Yeah, but I'm suspect of number 1 to 10 in Canada because sometimes I'll be, I just watched this movie over on Amazon Prime and I get over on Netflix and suddenly that movie's number 3. And it's like 40 years old. And I'm going, what? How did that get in the list? How is this
It's
movie,
the algorithm.
is in there? It just, it's suspect sometimes.
I was reading some reviews on IMDb, and people are not very fond of this movie.
What is it rated, do you know?
As a whole, on IMDb, it's rated 6 out of 10.
Okay. Well, okay.
But I had to scroll down pretty far to find a good review.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to say it's a great movie.
It wasn't.
But it's not horrible. Like you're not pulling your teeth out I was.
Listen, if you're
Willow.
no. You got to be fair. If you're comparing this to like
A modern
movies,
like
this is not
Godzilla
a
vs
good-
Kong.
This is not a good movie.
No, this is
No,
not even.
okay.
Yeah.
If you're comparing the watching experience to Willow 2022,
Which one did you prefer?
Oh. Yeah, I don't know. I can't even answer that.
I can. I would watch Troll 10 times before I watch Willow again.
You know why though? Is because you can watch Troll once, but Willow is episodes.
Yeah, but Willow was less than 2 hours for the 2 episodes, and I couldn't get through a half an episode.
Yeah, okay. I get it. I understand your reasoning.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I feel validated.
Good.
I almost hate to ask this, but what would you give this as a rating?
It's a 5 for me.
It's tough. It's behind the 8 ball because it is a foreign film and it's dubbed. But this is a 5.5 at best.
Yeah, I'm going around a 5.5
With good CGI.
I didn't watch it and go, yeah, that was enjoyable and everything, but I didn't watch it and go,
No.
what the heck was that?
But I started watching it and I texted you guys right away and I said, "What do you have me watching here?"
Yeah. I wouldn't have wanted to pay for this in the theater.
Yeah.
No. But free on Netflix? It's on. It'll be in the background even. Give it a watch. If you like the old Japanese Godzilla movies and stuff like that, you might enjoy it a little more.
Yeah.
All right.
There.
Till next time.